What's up? What's up? I am here for RC Late Night. Mike, what's happening? Let's unbox this dude. Yeah, man. I've been chomping at the bit for a VS410 again because I wanted to do a straight axle version because I was thinking about the Project IJ, and I'm kind of glad it didn't happen for me. I've been wanting one for a while because then they released this, which could be called the VS410 again, Origin, Where You Been, Classic. I didn't get the Classic Pro, although I love the idea of getting a set of wheels and bead locks, and I don't, except for the RC four-wheel drive, man, I've never had metal axles. I may post out real quick. What are you up to, man? What are you doing? I missed Ty. I got freed up finally, and I thought Ty might still be on, but nope. Let's see. I'm just gonna say it. Post it out real quick. Dude, you know what I might try too? Let's go live on Instagram too. For fun. He had 4 guests tonight. Awesome. Yeah, what the heck? I'll go live on Instagram too. We'll see what happens. I just want to see what it looks like. I've built 5 base camps lately. First kit I ever built was, dude, what up, Patrinchik Brothers? Good to see you. I'm unboxing a crawler right now, kit. The first crawler kit I ever built was a Vanquish, and then I've built RC four-wheel drive and like 5 axial base camps since then. I finally got my hands on another Vanquish right now. We're on YouTube, Instagram. We're at Pilot Ryan Media on YouTube. If you want to come join us there, you can, or you can hang out here on the Instagram Live. Let's go. RC Late Night with Pilot Rye Guy. So, man, Patrinchik Brothers, good to see you, man. Good to see you. So here's the box. All right, that's it. We'll see you in the next one. And so this is the Origin Classic. Now that they've had, the Origin is to Vanquish what the Timber is to E-Flight. There's been multiple iterations of the Origin and the VS410. This is going to be one of the best ones yet. You get inner fenders with this one. You get a clipless body, and it's basically an International Scout. And it's been years since I built a Vanquish kit. And the last one I built was Portal. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I don't know if I'm going to start today, but it just showed up today. And I want to get into it. And I finally have a minute. 5:41 a.m. in the morning, going to the other side of Slovenia for a second-hand P40 Balsa with glow engine. Is that for you or Blage? Old bird, and I must give it new home. I still do fly, man. Just I haven't gotten the new releases that forced me to get out there and get videos done like I used to. Doobie RC, what's up? Eddie K, what's going on? I'm looking at two things here. Instagram. Pat, what's going on? How are you, everyone? We're on YouTube right now also. Pilot Ryan Media. Unboxing the Vanquish Origin Classic. Here's some inner fender bits, Velcro. This is going to be fantastic. Kits are fun, whether it's a race rig or a crawler. I like the crawlers because they're like, you know, when you do a basher or even a race rig, they're RC models. But like when you do a crawler, they're like a miniature. They're so much like a real one. But give them the Blage at the end. I got you. So here's that beautiful International Scout body. Pre-cut. The grill's pre-cut. This will be a clipless body. It's going to look fantastic. The holes are already in it for like the door handles and the windshield wipers. Light lenses and buckets. And the hardware for some of the mounting back there. The Cross RC Emo X5. I haven't, some of those look really good. I haven't had any of those. What's up, Instagram people? And there it is. All the parts and the chassis rails and the manual and the stickers. I'm going to look at this manual and see what they're talking about first to be done. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of parts. Got to build the shocks. Usually these come with everything you need as far as oils and thread lock and all of that. The little crawlers are fantastic. Actually, I actually kind of like the 1/30th scale better than the 1/24th. I just think it's kind of a, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit, it's just better. I feel like engineered, put together, all of that. 10 scale and 6 scale is my favorite though. I cannot lie. Been 3D printing a lot of bodies lately for big stuff. I do have an 1800 Fusion for this. New in the box that does not have a rig to go in right now. So yeah, it will probably be this one. Yeah, dude, the SCX 30s, you may get lucky and there's still a couple colors left, but these have been going like bonkers. Lights in the front and the back, stock out of the box, hard body. Fantastic. $100. I mean, come on. Come on. Manuel, Nevin, what's going on Instagram? I don't ever really go live on Instagram, but I thought, let's do it. some cool stickers for the rig. I don't know if I'll use them. Some of the window decals and stuff. I usually will paint the weather stripping on myself. I kind of like flat instead of shiny. And a lot of times on Lexan, I actually paint them on the inside and the outside, which makes them look like they are not Lexan. Here's the window masks, I imagine. Yep, they're already pre-cut. So you got some nice window masks. I was really impressed with the way these bumpers fit. And I'm pretty sure there's rock rails too. Gil, Lacey, Edgar. What's going on, Instagram peeps? If you want to see a little wider shot, Pilot Ryan Media on YouTube is where we're at right now. We're streaming to 2 places at once. Good question. I kind of doubt it. Will I add the overdrive or anything like that? I'm going to build it as it comes and probably be happy with that. Every now and then I will add overdrive. I don't use dig very much, so maybe I'll do overdrive. I'm not sure. But they show you right here what you're going to need. You're going to need tools-wise. Too bad I can't see. I will probably put in the Fusion 1800. I got one here in a box. If I don't do that, it'll be like a 2300 or something. Either Hobby Wing or Spectrum. I like them. I got a new receiver today as well, and I had to buy a new charger, man. My charger finally died. Hey, there's Robert on Instagram. What up, dude? But yeah, cross wrench, side cutters, needle nose pliers, grease included, thread locks included. The cross wrench is included. Got a million of those. Could decorate a Christmas tree with my extra remotes and cross wrenches. And is this SAE hardware? I cannot see good enough to see what this says. I wish I could zoom on the page. Golly, bro. Looks like 1/32. How's this stuff not metric? That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Yeah, right away you're putting the axles together. What's up, Jetson? Yeah, man, Origin Classic. I had to do it. I've been dying for the VS410 because I wanted to do the IJ project. And then they came out with this, and I'm like, I like Scout so much, I'm going to just do the Scout. And I think they have an IJ conversion for like Axial 10.3s, which I have a bunch of those laying around. So I don't know. If I'm going to do the IJ, that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, that's an M2, but what's the drive? I really wish I could read. Somebody want to help me look up something? The standard toolkit. I just cannot see the stinking numbers on this little graphic. (1/32). I can't tell what it is. I know when I did the Phoenix, I thought I used regular tools, except for the axle nuts are a little bigger, like 8mm instead of 7. But yeah, man, you're into the diffs right away. It looks like they got you doing the front axle third member right away and plugging it into the axle. Bearings. I don't know. Maybe I can get into bag A real quick. Should we? Bag A, and then the knuckles. Bag B is the rear axle. What the hell? My phone is doing Instagram right now. That's the problem. Maybe I could. No, I can't. But there it is. First step, bag A. And what I'm trying to read is on these drivers down here at the bottom, it says on the little shaft what it is. I can't tell from here. I can't tell. Jackson, what's happening? I don't really have SAE tools, so I may have to order some. Flyboy 305, what up? But you know what, man? You saw Balsa P40. Yeah, man, Robert's thinking about. He's driving over to Slovenia to get one. Nice bumpers and rock rails, skids, servo tray, bag C. These manuals are always really good too. Bag I. We are nowhere close to some of that. Bag D has some bearings and transmission bits, it looks like. Bag H, rod ends and links. Bag E, more parts, sprue stuff, shock springs, shock rod ends, shock bodies. Yeah, man. Bag A, there we go. Axle, grease, Loctite. Looks like some of the third member parts. Cross wrench, spare parts, little spare parts bag. And then bag B is the rear solid axle. And here's drive shafts, bag F. All right, man. Let's get into A. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into here. I mean, typically you need a 1.5, a 2, and maybe a 2.5. If this stuff is SAE, though, I don't want to strip out my hardware. Raven Rock, what up, man? Roberto, Party, a lot of names on Instagram. Live unboxing, maybe kind of start building on this Vanquish. Origin Classic. Third member. Axle. Turnbuckles. Not turnbuckles. Knuckles. I need to find my little side cutters. Inner fenders, bag G. G. Where's some side cutters, man? I have so much going on project-wise. I don't know why I'm starting this one, but I do know why. It's because I want to. David Martin Graff, what up? Jackson RC Aviation. Everybody, a lot of you guys showing up in 2 places. That's cool. These kits are so nice. There's the hardware that's going to tell us the truth on this metric business or not. Make sure you're not throwing anything away. I want to find my side cutters. Hold on. I can't believe. Oh, yeah. I was using them on the 3D printer. Okay. Let's check out this hardware. Bag A1. Might be able to see my hands a little better on Instagram, to be honest. I want to put a stage 2 leaf kit from Twisted Fab on my RC 4-wheel drive Toyota extra cab so bad. Man, they're starting to make 3D printed leaves now, I think. They actually look really nice. Seems sacrilege somehow. Yeah, I definitely am not going to strip anything. So if this first look at this hardware is going to tell me what I want to know. I don't know. This 2mm feels pretty good though. I cannot lie. Let's see how the 1.5 is. Because one of the first things you're doing is putting the spool together, which is typically little 1.5. That's a 2.5. There it is. See how the little tiny 1.5 is. I think I can do it. All right, Francis, see ya. I do like leafs. I've only done them on the one. I built the RC 4-wheel drive FJ55 kit, and then I've put leafs on the FMS rigs with their kits, but they're not super flexy like what you're talking about. What's up, Abbas Hussein? Okay. Source the parts and build it. I've already lost my knife. Here's the spool for the front. I think I'm getting a lot of being late like this. I'm getting a lot of folks I don't normally see over there on Insta. So 30 by 8 is the ring and pinion for the differential. Here's our spool. And it's going to take the little 1.5ers. And I'm going to get out the Loctite for it. Doobie, that's a good question. I do not know how I want to paint this one right now. I actually like the graphics on the box a lot. If it came like that, I'd have been happy. But it didn't. So I will do my own thing. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I may kind of emulate my Snow Star, this big yellow Scout back here on the SCX6. I may do something like that. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Flyboy. This is the new Vanquish Origin Classic kit. So it comes with this nice grease and Loctite. A lot of times I go with this little end and just dip them in there. I don't know what I'm going to paint it yet. I don't know if I'm going to keep it clean or go patina. I love how snug the bumpers and everything are to the body on this one. So for being, it's going to perform really good for being what some would call a trail truck. I kind of think it's better than that. And we're putting stuff together. Let's go. Two-wheelers are fun. Like motorcycles or two-wheel drive rigs? What are you talking about? we've been making some two-wheel drive pre-runners out of base camps. So over the last few months, Proline released the 10.3 twin I-beam kit, and I've got 2 of them. And we've got videos of them on the crotch rockets. Not my thing, but that's cool. Going fast is always fun. But yeah, just hanging out, wondering what you guys are getting into. Isn't the Super Bowl this weekend? Or is that coming up? My kid's in tournament time for basketball, so that's what we've been doing. Had a game tonight, and they won, so they're moving on, and they got one tomorrow morning. So that'll be fun. Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday. Pats and the Seahawks. It was pretty evident early on that it wasn't going to be the Chiefs again. We really enjoy college ball around here too. IU, man. It's all commercials, no football. Yeah, come on. They got to squeeze it in there somewhere. I mean, it's all a psyop, right? I mean, really. It's the Roman Colosseum. But hey, it's okay. It is what it is. All right, so the spool is coming on strong. These things build so neat. A little bit of Loctite will do you. And I don't remember. I'll figure it out once I get into the second axle. But I don't know if there's any overdrive built into this or not. It could be in the diffs. It could be in the transmission. The way they get there. You know? What's up, Instagram? You guys hanging in there? I didn't really plan on doing this, but whatever. Nice. I will have to get some SAE tools. And it's probably these bearings here without shields. Fits on super nice. We'll do it so YouTube can see too. One more bearing. And then, where'd they go? These pieces. Go on there as well. And there should be one more. There it is. Had no sound on Instagram. Can you guys on Instagram hear me at all? If there's no sound on there, I'll turn it off. I just turned up the volume, but I didn't know the mic wasn't on. It looks like it's on. There you go. The bearing carriers or whatever, and the spool is all there now. And then it's going to be screwing it into the third member, the pinion and the output drive and the bearing go first. Awesome. What's up, Dwayne? So nice. There's a bearing on the outside as well. It's going to be one of these. Fantastic. Now you got to grease it up and install the son of a gun is what you got to do. You can grease it up after you get it screwed though. Let's see. What size screws are those? These are those ones. 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Yeah, these kits build so neat. You know, a lot of it's so similar if you've built a couple kits, but there are differences that are unique. The way this diff goes together is different than the axial stuff. This kit did not come with wheels and tires because I got the Classic, not the Classic Pro. The Classic that I got it's like $4. I think it's $750 or $800 or something like that if you go for the metal axles and the tires and wheels. So no, I did not get wheels and tires with this one, but I got plenty. So I'm good there. All right, grease it up. But there it is, output drive, bearings are in, the rear spool is done already. Yeah. Good times. But I love Scouts, and I've been jonesing to do another Vanquish kit. So I'm doing a big bathroom remodel right now on top of my regular job. And so I got myself something. Just a little something. So yeah, you bolt this to that, and then you install it in the axle housing. So before I grease it, I'll go ahead and install these screws by hand because I do not have the SAE tools I think they want you to use. No sound, huh? Why is there no sound on Instagram? Hawaii. Any of you other guys able to hear on Instagram? All right, Instagram people, we're going over to Pilot Ryan Media on YouTube. Apparently, there's no sound here. Check us out. I'm going to end it. Whatever. Okay. Good enough. You know what I should do is let you see my hands better and send myself an invitation. But that gets weird too. on the audio. It's fine. All right, man. I'm giving up on Insta. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to be too ambitious tonight. I at least want to get an axle or two built. And you're going into plastics, so once you get tight, just stop. You know what? I'm pretty good on my driver. I'm using it. I'm going to use it. Anybody watch any of the King of Hammers action? I went live through my stories on Instagram. I don't know if everybody has that or not. I've been kind of, I got a hand, my Instagram's not bad. I haven't done much on it really lately other than stories. But, the numbers are there. Sometimes there's a requirement. I don't know. I remember with YouTube, even going live on your phone, you had to have a certain amount of subs and stuff. Okay, so the cross member will be next. And it uses those screws. I'm going to grease this baby up. I always put in plenty, man, because why not? You don't really need a lot. Lately, I've been doing a lot because we've been building pre-runners and stuff. So I've gone crazy on them. Lots of grease. I probably got more than I need here, but it's okay. It's the blue stuff. Yeah, dude, King of the Hammers. Vanquish was there this year. Okay, so now it goes into housing. The spool is built. The third member is put together, and this only goes in one way. There's a recess in there for the ring gear. You can kind of see. And it is what it is. That's how it goes. Boom. And then it gets these little bolts. Four of them. And then we get to shove the axles in there. That Jeep? Which one are you talking about, bub? What's up, Victor? Which one, Doobie? That is a Toyota FJ45, which is the Vanquish Phoenix. That's a Willys Jeep. And that's a Jeep old school Gladiator from the Trimmers truck, from the Trimmers movie. That is a Willys wagon, kind of a Jeep right there. I got to get some SAE hardware, dude. I hate buying stuff I don't need for but one thing. The second shelf. This second shelf or that second shelf? Kits are a blast, dude. They really are. In front of the yellow Toyota. Okay, that's another Vanquish. That's a Vanquish Portal. The first crawler kit I built. This thing is dialed. Portal axles. It's a Vanquish as well. Spectrum brushless power system. This has 2 overdrives and the dig. And I'm selling this, actually. Got to make room. That's the first crawler kit I built and the first Lexan paint job I did. I patinaed it. So I painted it on the inside and on the outside. So they show the knuckles going on next. I'm a little bit surprised the axles aren't going yet. They kind of do. I'd like to get 500 shipped out of it. But I'd probably take 450 for, which is a steal. It's got all the things. So with the front axle, one is definitely long and one is going to be short because the pumpkin is offset, as you can see. This shouldn't be too bad. So here's the knuckles. Here's my side cutters, just to keep it clean. Your shoulder screws are all here. The kits are nice because there's so many parts, but you only open up what you really need as you need it, which is pretty rad. Okay, so they got you putting together the knuckles kind of before the rest of it. Sometimes I slow myself down by looking too much in the yeah, there's got to be a bearing that goes there. So bearing goes in there. on both sides. There's going to be a little tiny screw that holds in the bearing. No, the axle is going to hold in the bearing, I think. Man, these are so nice. Sometimes you got to turn the page to see what you're really supposed to look like when you're done. And if this was a base camp, I wouldn't need to even look at the directions anymore. Ha. They got you going into the back axle next. Well, I'm going to do what I think it is, and then I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. Let's see. It's going to be a big bearing next. Yep, VS410 Phoenix with the VFD twin transmission that has all the things in it. And you know the knuckles and everything go in the steering links are going to be in the front, not behind, because if they were behind, they'd be in the way of the suspension links. So there we go. We got this bearing going in the knuckle. And then our shoulder bolts come in from the top. Another bearing goes in there, but we'll get that in a minute. Just getting it started. So good. That's nice. There's like no slop at all. All right, Jackson, see you, man. Press this bearing in, and then we're going to go ahead and get our axle, our hex on as well. So the pin goes in. 90 style stadium trucks. I don't know. Then the hex goes on. And then there's a little set screw for it. And the little set screw is going to be a 1.5 more than likely. Or some SAE weirdness. I don't know. Little tiny grub screw. How you like me now? That's not a 1.5. That's a monster. There it is. Yep, 1.5. And you got metal hexes, and there we go. There's the hex going on that side of the axle. Man, easy. Just what I thought. All right, so this dude can go in there, and then if you're sticking out, you just gotta. There's a square. It's a square end on it that fits in the spool. So if it doesn't go in, you just got to twist it. And there's no, you can't really get the bearings wrong. They only fit one way. There's multiple sizes of them. And there we go. Click it. And now we can put our knuckle on. And it may be easier to do it. There it is. Traxxas Wrestler, yeah. And then your bearing on the outside. So the stub axle is supported on both sides by a bearing. I'll go ahead and put the pin and hex on. Pin. The hex captures it. And then little tiny grub screw. Parts are easy to find for Traxxas. Front axle is like done. Shoulder bolts. Am I missing something? Yes. That little screw goes, I don't know why, but it goes there. Yeah, not bad at all, man. Is that? It's not big enough to hold the bearing in, so I don't know what it's for. Is it a bump stop? It might be like a bump. Ha! Thanks for making it look easy, huh? I've built 5 of the base camp kits lately. I haven't done a Vanquish for a minute, but once you've done one, you kind of know what to expect. And the manuals are really good. Honestly, the worst part of these kits, if you haven't done them before, it's still fun. And I'd say this about anybody's kits. Dude, the shocks. I hate doing the shocks. Guys, that's it. The front axle's built. I mean, that's it. I got to throw this one screw in over here, though. And cool that the knuckle's not in the way. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what that does other than It really is a bump stop. If you don't put that bolt in, you get more turn. But these things already turn more than most. And then when I spin it, it's all there. It's all good. It's a bump. Yeah, it's a stop. Yeah, you could adjust it. You could leave it out. It doesn't have to go all the way in. And you can get to it easily by just turning the wheels. So you don't have to take anything apart to get to it, which is kind of nice. I'll go ahead and put the axle nuts on. And yeah, they're usually 8mm instead of 7 on the Vanquish stuff. But this one is a 7. Yeah. Best way not to lose them, though, is to put them on. These are nice. You know, when I built my Phoenix Portal, they didn't have the straight axle kit out yet for it. And, or that's what I would have got. But I built the Portal. One axle done. That's awesome. I think we will do the rear axle now as well. That was easy. Second verse, same as the first. Let me cut this heat off. Might even think about pushing that out on a pre-runner to not only limit your ability to turn, but the truck's ability to get away in the rough. Yeah, my pre-runners end up being 2-wheel drive. I got one that I haven't done the twin. I made it fast, but I didn't do the twin I-beam yet. I got the trailing links on it, so it only because it's wintertime here still. So the 2-wheel drive ones just suck unless it's they suck if it's slick out. Airplanes got me into the hobby. I was a pilot guy for the longest time. I still am. But like I mean, it's the middle of the night, it's dark, and I can wrench on these trucks. I've been having fun with that. And if you told me this is a few years back, if you told me this is what I'd be doing, I would have thought you were absolutely nuts. But man, I like it. I like full-scale trucks and stuff, but I don't have the wherewithal to work on them and stuff. So doing these, I can do. The bags are so good. So bag B, here we go for the second axle. Easy peasy. Going to build the second spool, same as the first, and then put it on the third member. No sweat. So let's go. So easy, bro. Once you've done a couple, I think even on my first kit, I was pretty good until I got to the shocks. I had definitely never done that. But I watched the video and was able to do it. And building these things right on the manual always seems to work pretty good for me. Here we go. Spool. Once again, the instructions are pretty good. I've heard guys complain about kits manuals, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's pretty not bad. It was actually, I think, one of Harley's videos on the shocks. I think I watched his video on the transmission too, because I was having trouble. But it was my first kit, and it was a transmission with 2 digs and an overdrive, two overdrives and a dig. Gen X laughs at that statement. I am Gen X. Let's go. Here we are with the thread lock. Awesome. Yeah, I was late. I was in my 30s when I got into airplanes. I grew up around real airplanes, and the hobby products back then were, you really had to be a builder. And then in my 30s, Dad got himself a foamy, and I was like, what? They're making them like that now? And it wasn't a ton of money. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, man. With electronics, man, I'm as good as installing them. And, man, I mean, I can read a manual and program them, but I really don't do more than I need to. Like, if you get an ESC that'll let you run on a slightly higher voltage to get a little more out of the servo, I'll jack it up, and I'll mess with the drag brake. But until crawlers, you wouldn't find me messing with any of the electronics. Like, how they come is usually good enough for me. But that's all I care about. Drag brake. Yeah. That's about it. It is nice to get that little bit of extra voltage sometimes. On the SEX6s, I got one of them on a nice servo, and the rest of them are on the stock servos. And if you can eke a little bit more out of them, I think it's not a bad idea. Okay. But, man, as far as these hobby wings and the Spectrum brushless systems I've been using, I don't think I've ever done anything to the hobby wing systems at all. Like, they just work. The 2-in-1s. So this spool is a 30x8 as well. So if there's any overdrive in this kit, it's in the transmission. I don't think there is any, but I don't know. There may be, we'll see when I get to the transmission if there's anything you got to lock out or add a servo for to make happen. But thanks for hanging out, man. I'd be working on this anyway. Watch it going down some rabbit hole on YouTube. I might as well be the rabbit hole, I guess. Been a long week, lots of snow. What's funny on this one is I probably will use a Vanquish servo for the steering. I'm going with the shocks that came with it first anyway, which are, I don't know if they're the new shocks or like the incisions that used to always come with stuff. So once the spool's built, you slap your bearings on. And it's the ones without any shields. And then, unlike the base camps, this third member business goes together a little different, where you have these carriers that the bearings fit in as well. And I'm pretty sure when you get the if you go for the Pro instead of the Classic, you're going to get like these carriers, bearing carriers are going to be metal, and the axles are axle housings are also metal. And so then there's the bearing carrier on the spool. That's going to go right in the third member here and bolt in before you attach it all the way to the axle housing. Easy peasy. Just like the, oops, got to put the output drive and bearing in first, dummy. Or you'll wish you did. I promise you that. Bearing goes on both sides of the third member. Meet Servo, what up? Yes, man. I've been dying to build another Vanquish, brother. I do like the new shocks they have. I can't remember the name of them. The new ones that Vanquish has. I like those. I think everyone else is liking them too. They may be a little better. So I would definitely entertain that idea. Down the road. I haven't screwed it together yet, but there's the third member business right there. And it takes these screws, as the manual tells you. And man, I always alternate. Why not? No Loctite on plastics. And am I missing a screw, bro? I might be. Oh, it's hiding in a bolt. Ha. That's hilarious. Hiding right in the middle of one of the wheel nuts is that last bolt for that bearing carrier. It's that easy. And then pumps it full of grease before you close it up. I'm pretty liberal with it on the grease. I do plenty. Too much, but so okay. I'm starting to not really look at the pictures much, but it's pretty easy. This is only going to go one way. You can see the recess for where the ring gear is going to be in there, and that's where you put it. I'm not sure if it would even let you get it wrong. Fits nice right away. I have not ran the Arma Typhon 223S. I had the old 3S BLX, and I still have the 6S Typhon that I run. I put race tires on it, and I run it in 8-scale off-road buggy race classes. So, but I haven't run any of the 223S stuff yet. I'd like to. And then 4 bolts for this, third member to the axle housing. Yeah, snow, man. We've got some really nice 6-scale crawler videos in the snow. Yeah, buggies are fun, dude. I bet it's awesome. I really enjoy. What's neat about the 223S and the old 3S BLX is that they're both 8-scale. 223S, the 3S, and the 6S are all three 8-scale, which is nice. I remember I put the 6S shocks on my 3S Typhon. I don't really remember why. I probably broke them. And so when I fixed them, I just upgraded. And I knew they'd fit and be the right length and stuff. Because it's the same rig, same wheelbase. All right, axles are going in. I'm not even looking at the book right now. Axles going in. And then... And building by the bag like this, there's, you've got all this stuff to look at, but you're only getting into what you're getting into little by little. So you can't really get it wrong. I say that, but oh yeah, it does feel like a track car. I mean, honestly, the Typhon is or the Creighton, I mean, it's a truggy, which is that's inspired by race rigs. And then after that, you put this little cap on and it screws in, and that helps retain the bearing. I mean, this second axle is almost done already, guys. So nice. So very nice. Bash, I knew what you meant. Yes, sir. Man, we're about done on this rear axle, guys. It's awesome. We'll see what the next page has in store. Boss. Yes, man. I just got this kit and I wanted to get I actually just wanted to look at it, but I'm on my second axle already, so that's fun. Yes, sir, David. Let's see. So, yep, there's a little washer and the pin. So there's the base camp rear axle is a little bit like this too, where there's a little tiny bushing that goes on. And on the base camp, it's to keep your wheel away from the nut that retains the bearing. On this one, that's not what it is. So the little washer goes in, little silver washer. Then your pin likes to party. Yes, sir. Wrenching party. Then the pin's in. Then the hex. Then a little tiny set screw to hold it in. Boom. Little 1.5. Little tiny thing. Metal hexes. Looks like aluminum. Awesome. And the pin. I do not want to drop the pin in here. I got to clean this office up tomorrow morning before the basketball game. Ugh. Nice, boss. History equals death. Got a cheap Amazon RC car. It was fun for $130. Nice. Yeah. I was surprised by the Bashers. I kind of knew I was going to have fun with because I was starting to see when I first started paying attention to them. I was seeing what guys were doing with them, and the fact that you could fly those trucks, I thought was awesome. I was like, dude, I want to do that. And so I did it. And then the crawlers kind of happened to me by accident, and I was surprised I liked them, but I really did. And I wasn't working on them right away. I mean, the first upgrade you do to a crawler generally is going to be change the wheels, maybe add some brass or something, and you're done. So the last thing is this cool little red anodized aluminum like cap for the diff. And you could actually squirt grease in there with this. And it comes with a little thumb screw kind of wrench to drive that down. But I got plenty of grease in there. Look at that. Nice straight axle. Beefy, and it's not the truss work is really, it's there, but it's very streamlined. It's hard to kind of see that bracing, but it's minimal, but it's there. That's it. Sometimes I wonder if you need a shim on these, but it didn't have any in the kit. Yeah, the cap and the tool are nice. Okay, we got 2 axles built on an unboxing. Easy. I'm curious now what the second, what bag C is. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, wow. They got you going right to chassis stuff. Chassis stuff, skid, transmission bottom, skid plate, and then, of course, the other side of the chassis. They got the servo going in right away. You can do that at any time. Bro, it's 1 in the morning. I don't know if I want to get into this yet. I mean, I do. I kind of do. Let's see. Bag I, bag H. No. Bag A and B are done already. Bag E is shocks. Definitely stopping there. Man, it's a bunch of chassis bits for a while. And then transmission starts on bag D. These kits are so good, dude. Shocks are bag E. All right, bag E, nope. Bag F, not yet. Bag D's transmission business. Bag C, plastics, starting to happen. Oh, let's see. Let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. Man, the bumpers and stuff look so good. Man, that's nice. That's nice. Rear bumper. The body fits so perfect on it. So streamlined. Okay. This is the bottom of the transmission and your skid plate where your links are going to go. Yeah, these are nice. Your fake gas lid for basically a receiver box or whatnot. So they integrate your receiver box if you want with cross members and shock tower stuff and chassis braces. It's all super slick. So this is the front one. They want me to get after this and half of the chassis right now. And the skids look really good. Really solid plastics, you know, nice. It's nice. More skid business. I'm sure to retain the body a little bit. A little parts tree with some bits. Yeah, that's going to be pretty slick. Screws, a hitch, a couple D-rings, screws, D-rings. Awesome. For the bumper, probably, right? It's got to be for the... I don't know where you're putting them. But they got this and the chassis rail stuff happening next. Chassis rails. I did slot cars a little bit when I was little, but never like seriously. But my dad had a massive set that me and my sister would do a lot. If it was set up, we would run it. We would run it. It had a whole room in the house. And we had a wood burning stove in that house. And that was not one of the warm rooms, but we'd be in there, man. We'd be in there. Yeah, so unlike some chassis rails where they come together a half, two halves aside, this is basically what it is here. Sweet. All right, man. Let's figure out which one they want me to do. Which half this is. You know, just deciphering pictures is kind of what happens. They got you going with the left chassis rail, which is this one. And man, when they show you the screws, I mean, it is, you can't really get it wrong, man. Okay. We're doing it. And then there's some little bracket piece that they want on there. What? No way. Am I wrong? I'm wrong. I'm just flipped around. That's all. My bad. My bad. That's what they want. That's what it is. Okay. And then the panhard bar mount goes on right now too. It must be in this. Yep. It's in with the hardware. I have seen some wicked slot car stuff, but just online. I got a buddy in Florida that I know was doing them pretty hardcore. All right. Start with that. So yeah, they got you putting this in, and then the panhard mount. And it takes a couple 10 millimeter. That's not it. Yeah, it is. Those holes aren't right. What? Oh, I'm an idiot. They go back here. Huh. It's a funny place to show it. All right, 2 10 millimeter ones of them. Let me get my ruler out. Once you get into a lot of the screws, you would definitely want to get it right. I have a little widget too for measure. Aha. First thing I printed off on my printer was a screw gauge. That's a 10 millimeter. I was right. 2 10s right there. Let's go, Panhard. Mount. Actually, one of my parts when I did one of the transmission parts was supposed to have like a square hole through it or something. I don't remember now. Oh, that's a 2.5. That ain't it. That's a 3. Here's a 2.5. I never get one in all the way until the other one is started. It just wouldn't be prudent, you know? What I really want, though, is my speed bit. Speed bits. Get tight and then finish by hand. There we go. Metal Panhard link. Let's see. And then a little 8mm one. Looks like this. Put it on my trusty screw gauge. It's got to be an 8. They don't make a 9, right? Or do they? That's a 6. There's an 8. And that one goes into, well, it has to go right there, doesn't it? The second one. Okay. I can follow the rules. I wasn't born yesterday. And then they got a 6mm. It's going to be this little shorty. Yep. And it's for this rear section with the receiver box, which I've never had my receivers that far away. I've always mounted them somewhere else. But whatever. It's a fuel cell. It looks cool. Anyway. Apparently, you're not doing the front couple cross member. It's easy to get ahead, but don't. Just do what it says. Watch the torque. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So they're just got you putting one in here right now. And it goes there. Boom. Okie doke. I'll go ahead and put this together. They told me to. So let's do it. What screws are those? 10mm tapered heads. All right, Dan. Are those kit engine model 6/8 cylinders that really work any good? I've not done any of those, but they look cool. That's for sure. Man, we are moving. Let's see, 4mm, 10mm tapered head. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Where you at? Last one. Don't. The last one's, there it is. The last one's always a hard one to find. Fuel cell looks good. Whether I'm going to use it or not is to be seen. One-handed speed bit change on the DeWalt gyro driver. I've lost my magmatism. All right, boss. See you, man. And if they're not showing you screwing other bolts that you think you should be, it ain't time for them. That's the trick, is believe what you see in the book, or you'll be undoing it later, which is not a huge deal, but might as well just do it once. Okay. Next page shows the bottom part of that transmission situation happening. See what's happening. Okay. So looking at the picture, we got this dude. I mean, you see how fat that chassis rail is. This is only going to go in one way. That's slick. And then okay. 4 bolts for this skid are going to sandwich that transmission piece in. And it's 10 millimeter button heads. And the way this stuff keys together, you can't hardly get it wrong, you know, which is fantastic. If you ask me, looks good to me. Nice. And that's the skid. Has to be those. Oh, that's slick. These are going to be 10 millimeters. 3 of them. Not 4. That's an 8, not a 10. Come on, brother. 10. 10. 10. And that's going to be a 2.5. Okay. Which one on the back is that? The back one. So yeah, anytime they don't have you do it, trust it. That can't be right. Let's do the front too and see. How's that not seem like it's going? Just doesn't seem tight on that one. Why? Why? What's up, Ready, Set, Film? Maybe that one's not a 10. That's a 10. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Making no sense. Maybe I was in the wrong spot. It's possible. It's possible. It is so fun to build stuff. Ultra Micro GB, yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I was in the wrong hole. I was in the wrong. No, I wasn't. What's happening? Yep. I was right the first time. It just doesn't seem to be tight enough. I think you take it out later to actually get the links in, is what it is. I think that's what it is. Pardon me for the delay. $2.5. Man, we are cooking. Yeah, I think that first one is just a pin because you're going to go through that later to get the link in. It's got to just be a pin for now kind of deal. I think it's possible it's the wrong hole they're showing in the book, which It could be that. Would make more sense. Let's just do that. Let's just do that and see. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That was it. All right. Now they show the other chassis rail going on. That's fun. It is coming along. Man, gotta love it. Gotta love that. Okay, that's going to be another shorty right there. Short, 2.5. It's a 6mm. Yes, it is. And then on this other skid, they're only showing 2 when they showed 3 on that one. Okay, I'm trusting it. I'm trusting it. Yep. It's the inside one. And these are going to be 10s. Just 2 of them, though. Just 2. That's an 8. I will have it on the trail, man. Be taking out the big ones, though, until the snow melts. I think we're going out Sunday with the F86s. Okay. It's this one. It's not the link hole, it's the other hole. The reason why the wrong hole didn't tighten for me was because the screw's too short to get through the link position to the boss on the other side that actually is going to grab threads. And then they show that middle one. Why not both on this one? They did both on the front of the other side. Oh, well. What do I know? Snugs it up. So nice. Bruh. 2 8mm in the opposing the pan hard. Yep. Opposing the pan hard. 6 scale crawlers. Man, they're fun. We all got custom 3D printed bodies on ours. The guys do run the stock bodies when they want to just thrash, though. I don't have any stock bodies left for the 6 scale, though. And then did they show just the one in the back? Oh, okay. chassis coming together, and it is strong, dudes. It's strong. Let's move these screws and turn the page, shall we? We're moving. Page 9, Clementine. Wow, man. 6mm screws. For these bits. Left and right, marked. Two 6mm. Right. Left. Dummy. Oh, wow. You got to get your driver through there? I think you do. That's interesting. And these are going to be fatties too. Six. That's an. I don't know if I agree. Those seem more like 8s. I'm an idiot. They're 10mm, but you need 6 of them. Duh. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, you got to get your driver through there. That's interesting. Sweet. Thread the needle, so to speak. Awesome. This beefs it out. This makes these skids wide. It's cool they're 2-piece because if you're doing a different rig, you may not want these outer sections. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'll show you. 10. So you can kind of see how I'm threaded through this part, through these holes on the side of it to get that, which stretches that skid out quite a bit. Man, this is nice. This is going to be a nice one. Come on. That's cool. Big chungus. And then there's these little bracket things that were on the parts tree that go next. 2 more 10s. That thing is nice having around. I cannot tell a lie. I did not chop down that cherry tree. Yeah, man, definitely some old school rigs. I like, dude, 1964 International Travelall. That's a 65 Jeep Gladiator thrift side truck. Old school Toyota FJ45, FJ40, 1940s Willys Jeep. Some 1980 LC80 Toyota. Old school Willys wagon down here, Land Rover. Scouts. There's another shelf up there too. You can't quite see from this shot. Thank you. Yeah, man, I like making them. A bunch of those are 3D printed bodies behind me. You can't buy half that stuff that you're looking at. Which is super fun. I've only been 3D printing for like a year or something, and we've got a ton between me and my crew here local. And we go out and run them. There's videos on the channel, man. So you'll see like 3 SX6s out, and they'll all 3 be 3D printed bodies or something. Man, that is massive, actually. That's cool. And they didn't have you do all of the bolts on these cross members because certainly there's shock towers somewhere that get bolted on. So that's why I have to assume. Man, that is cool. So then they show these weird little brackets going on from the bottom holes. And they are these that were on that are still on the parts tree. Sprue, as they say. 1, 2. I will get to a stopping point pretty soon, though. I'm not going to start the transmission tonight. Surgeon, let's go. All right. These things face inward, and these take 10 millimeters as well. And it's going to be, holy moly, I need 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 8. There we go. And these face these little cleat looking things. They face in. I'll show you when I'm done, I guess, from the bottom. This is going to actually be a little tricky. It's got to hold the body or something. I don't know. No way I got it. I didn't get it. Ha. I was going to say that was too easy. Do they just slide there? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, they go down, dumbass. I was wondering why they had these big chunky button heads on the bottom of the skid. I was like, that's going to grab stuff. Silly. All right, my fault. They go in this way from the top, which makes a lot more sense. And yeah, I do think they help retain the. That's cool. You'll see this in a second. They help retain the body against the rail there. That's cool. There's no way the first Origin was this thought out. I see guys selling original Origins probably to get this one. Sweet. Yeah, this will be. I'm going to put the bumpers on because that's on this page. And then I'm going to call it. I'm not going to do any transmission bits today. But not bad for just planning on unboxing it. Shoot, we'll be able to put the clear body on here for looks. Oh, that's what it is too. The inner fenders get. That's where the shock hoops are. They're with the inner fenders on this one. That's right. I remember now. Because I watched some of the videos when this first came out. Yeah, the shock hoops are on the inner fenders. So when you bolt those onto the chassis, that does the rest of this cross member stuff. What got me into this building? You know, after long enough of crawling, I was like, dude, I want to do a kit. And I really like that FJ45 over there. That was my first kit build. I had other crawlers, but it was the only way I was going to get an FJ45 that I patinaed and kind of modeled that one after the full scale Fab Rats guys. So you can see these 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of cleats on there. It's not on this side yet, but you can imagine the body sits down and slides between the rock rail and those cleats, for lack of a better term. And that's going to hold that on pretty slick. That's pretty nice. And honestly, they want me to put looks like the bumpers go on this page. And I'll be able to show you how slick the body sits on the bumpers and the rock rails before we wrap it up. Because like I said, after that, it's transmission time. And I'm not going to start that this late. No, sir. But yeah, man, I guess that was kind of it, man. Watching other guys on YouTube do it, you know. And then I wanted an FJ45, and I wanted to build a kit. And so Vanquish was the first crawler kit I built. And this is only my second Vanquish right now. but I've probably built not a ton, 7 or 8 crawler kits. But I'm an airplane guy, really. And then, I started with bashers when I first got into surface. And with the bashers, you're definitely going to be fixing them, especially if you're going to send them. If you're going to send the thing to the moon, you can't be mad when you got to fix them. So I got into it and did a lot of fixing on them, and then surprisingly got a chance to do crawler for my first. I used to get all kinds of product from companies, but FMS makes this Willys Jeep, which they're an airplane company. But that when they came out with this Jeep, I thought my Warbird guys would like it, and this was at the beginning of the COVID time, and so they're like, we'll send you that Willys Jeep if you do a video. I'm like, okay. And I didn't have any crawlers yet, and but I still had an opinion about them. I was like, I didn't know anything about it because I didn't have any, but I was like, that 1941 Willys looks so scale that I don't think it'll be very good performance-wise. But instead of just saying that with no basis for the opinion, I was like, while I'm waiting on this to come from, overseas during COVID time, which it took forever, I was like, let me get a regular dedicated 10 scale rock crawler so I know how to I got something to compare it to, and I'm not just talking out the side of my face. And so that's why I got a crawler, was to compare it, so I knew what I was talking about when I did the video on the Jeep. Well, surprise, I liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I liked it. All right, man. So they're showing bumpers. Let's do them. Why does that look weirdly upside down? Okay. Because it is in the picture. But why? Oh. Bumper location. Okay. Little tiny pins are going in, and then they got these other bolts going in, but it's not obvious to me why. But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Is that a 2 or 1.5? That is a 2. Truth. Always. Little set screw for this front bumper. And then, yeah, they're showing little 8mm going in there too, button heads, but I don't know what they're even doing. But I'll put them in. Eight. All right. Nice. I don't know if those help lock the bumper in or not, but I'm surprised it would need it. Okay. I guess we'll know if I got it wrong and I got to move it. Second to last hole on this. Which it may make sense to go ahead and size it up. Oh, that's going to be sick. It fits nice in there. Oh, bro. That is nice. But that's pretty good. The way that fits. It's just so tight, to the body. I like it. Yep, 4 screws and I'm done, man. I'm getting this back bumper in. That's the right spot. That's the right spot. Godspeed. Thank you. You too. Sometimes it's nice to have the light. There you go. Crank it in there a little bit. And then 2 2.5s, little ones. And these should be, yep, 8 millimeters. We got a lot done on this. Those still blow my mind. I don't know what those are for. Here we go. Bumpers and skid plates. Bottom of the transmission. And 2 axles. Not bad. Not bad at all. That is slick. That's going to be great. Nice. like it. Just a few little screws to save for the next time. Those are for the servo that I didn't put in. That's why. Yep. Servo arm, couple screws. I'll do that when I'm ready for electronics. I'm still waiting on my tire. I got new tires and rims coming in the mail. All right, there we go. For now, not bad for a little first session, couple hours. Sweet. Stickers. Chassis won't fit in the box now. There we go. That's that. That's cool. That's going to be sick, dude. I'm so glad to have a... My other Vanquish is it's very similar, but it's not as complete. The skids are unique for that Vanquish FJ45. This is a little boxier. There's no taper to the skids, but the transmission and the way things sit nice and low, and the quality of the construction though is very similar. But major differences are that this one's straight axle and that one's not. Let me stack that chassis on that chassis. That chassis is going to be this Corvair 3D print that I'm modeling after Matt's Off-Road Recovery. This will be all rusty and fun. Okay. This is the... Did I just fling my U-bolts across the room? My shackles? Yes. Let's put those in the box. Okay, this is the reboxing of the Vanquish Origin. Keep it all together until it's done. That's it, man. That's going to do it. The honest truth is, I got some parts in the mail today for that other chassis that I'm going to bolt up. I got skids for it and rock rails that I might put on. I don't know. It's two. Guys, we'll see you. We do this live show, me and Kelly, every Wednesday at 7 Eastern time. And then, of course, there's a lot of other, I'm not a live stream channel, but it seems like I am because I consistently go on at least once a week for like 6 years. But the videos are good too. The running videos are really nice. I think they're good because we tell part of the story too on the build or the 3D print or how we got there, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I got the VS410 portal kit, very good parts, but there's a bit for a new guy. Yeah, dude. The VFD twin transmission with all the 2 different overdrives and a dig, bro. It was my first kit was that. And that was challenging. That and the shocks were the most challenging part. But after you've done a couple, it's the first one, you've never seen that stuff really before. And then after a couple, it's like, all right. I went back in on this FJ45 portal, Phoenix this year and just tweaked with the settings on those servos for the overdrive and the dig and was able to kind of even make it run a little smoother, a little less noise, like get things out of the way all the way on the servo travel. It's cool. I like that Phoenix. I really like the scale trucks, but I got that Coyote dialed. A ton of upgrades on it. Still on stock rubber, but there's a lot going on in that. I can't. The last upgrade I did a build series on it here on the thing. I added more overdrive. I did the dig. Threw brass on it. Changed the motor. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I like my scale ones, and I like making ones that shouldn't perform very good actually perform okay. Dude, the travel all here though with that back end sticking out so long, it's a leaf sprung trail truck. I mean, it does okay for what it is, but it's not winning any comps, man. You know what I mean? It's just too long. It's going to get hung up. You're going to break it. So, but my axial CJ7 hiding behind the duck is pretty dialed in. And yeah, the CJ7 and this Portal are my two best scale performers. And then the Coyote beats them all. And for leaf trucks, the FJ40 is really good. Pretty fun. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. Thanks for hanging out with me on this unboxing. We are, man, what's next? The D-bag? I think so. We're into the transmission already, man. We knocked out the axles, and it looks like most of the chassis and bumpers and rock rails and skids. Oh, my. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Boom.